An Acrobat Portfolio is a container that you can use to store all sorts of different files on your computer. And because they're all contained in a single PDF, you can easily click on the different pages from the different files and view them just as if they're one PDF. You can also print them out this way as well. The original files are still intact, although you can't edit the files here inside of Acrobat. You can go ahead and click on the file and tell it that you want to edit the file. It will open up the native application where you can make whatever changes you want. You can also take this portfolio PDF and copy it, either email or send it to someone else, and they could go ahead and open it up because all of the files are copied into the portfolio as you save it and then copy it. You create a portfolio by going to File, Create, PDF Portfolio. I will come up and choose Add Files, and instead of adding individual files, I have contained all my different files in a single folder, so I'm just going to add the folder. I'll locate the folder, and here it is. I've called it Portfolio. I'll click on it once and then click OK. And I can preview all the different files in the folder that will be contained in the portfolio. Here's a spreadsheet, here's a Word document, here's a scanned image, here's just another JPEG of a receipt that I have, there's a PowerPoint file, a Photoshop file, and also an Adobe Illustrator file. I don't think I want to have this receipt, so I'm going to click on it once and then click the little trash can next to it to take it out. It's important to note that these files will not be converted to a PDF. They'll just be contained within a PDF, the original file themselves. If you're concerned about the arrangement of the files in the portfolio, do that now, as you won't be able to change the order of the files once you've created the portfolio. I'll click my Word document, I'll drag it to the left, I'll grab my PowerPoint file, and I'll move it out here to the right of my scanned image. One other thing I'd like to add is a web page. So I will come out to Add Files, and I will choose Add Web Page, and I will type a URL for the web page. I'll click on Add, and it puts a little placeholder for the web page. It hasn't brought anything in yet, but it's just showing me that it's got a place for it. When I create the portfolio, it'll go ahead and put those pages in. When you're ready to create the portfolio, you click on Create. And Acrobat creates your portfolio. I can see all of my documents in the order in that I place them over here on the left-hand side. When I click on a file like the Excel spreadsheet, I can go ahead and preview the file. But I can't make any editing changes here. If I want to make an editing change, I need to go out to Open Document. It'll warn me about opening this spreadsheet. I'll click OK. And it fires up the original application, and here I can make whatever changes I'd like. Scroll down. Here's my scanned image. See that I have a PowerPoint file. I could preview it as well. I see that I have a Photoshop file. If I click on it, I could go ahead and click Open, and would it open the Photoshop file in the original application, just like Open Document here. And here's my Illustrator file, same thing. And I also have my web page that I brought in, and if I click on it, I can see the web page. Now this isn't just a dummy web page. The links are actually live. So if I were to come out here and click on one of these links, it actually opens up my browser and moves to that page in the browser. So the links are live. Now this portfolio hasn't been saved yet. It just lives in memory. So I want to come up and choose File, Save, Portfolio. And I will just save it in my portfolio folder. I can change the name if I'd like. I just call it Portfolio 2 or whatever. I'll click on Save, and now the file's been saved. It's important to note that when you create the portfolio, it goes out and makes copies of the files you selected in the folder, and then you're working on those copies, not the original files. So if I were to take this and send this to somebody, they would have copies of the original files, not the original files, but copies. So there's no change taking effect if you go back and work on your original copies. To demonstrate this, if I come out and click on the executive summary and I take a look at the word executive, I'll come out here and I'll go ahead and open the document, and I'm opening up a copy of the original file. If I change this to, say, test, and then I close this back down, And then if I were to go back out and take a look at the original folder, there's the executive summary. You can still see it says executive summary and not test. So these are just copies of the original files, and the originals are left intact. To close this, I can just click the X to close it. I'll save any changes. And there's my Portfolio 2 PDF. I can just double click it to open it back up. I can copy it to a thumb drive. I can send it as an email. And it's a great way to go ahead and collect lots of different files and have them organized in one spot in just a PDF.